What's going on, everyone, and welcome back to another edition of Action Sunday. So last week I reviewed the first Delta Force movie. This week I'm reviewing its sequel, the Delta Force 2, or the full title is Delta Force 2, The Colombian Connection. So yeah, that tells you how much thought process that they were going to go into this sequel. So I just want to talk about this real quick. So let's see, what makes this different from the predecessor? Well, the fact that I feel like the whole aesthetic, let's see, it has like a more in-depth story because, well, as the Delta Force, sorry, there, sorry, the little slip up there, was more of a, trying to deal with a hijacking and a terrorist kind of thing, more of like a real life situation. This one felt more like, also realistic, but also campy at the same time because how can I say this? Like the subtitle says, Colombian Connection. So now they're dealing with Latin America. They're dealing with the drug cartels and all that, which I kind of find a little cliche, especially the villain played by Billy Drago, not virtually unknown. So yeah, I'm like, it's like I feel like I've seen this archetype before. Just can put my finger on it. Oh yeah, movies like Desperado or better yet, Code of Silence, how ironically with Chuck Norris with Henry Silva's character, playing the cartel villain. So. Wow, it's essentially just recycling stuff that Chuck Norris has already faced. So I find that to be a little dumb, but hey, nothing's original. But man, this movie has the balls to amp up the action and blood and all this great and gruesome stuff. I mean, there's like a dark moment that really had me on the side. I really did not like that. Kind of knocks the final score down for me. Is that he kills this hostage's husband. It's a female hostage. She kills her husband, then kills her baby. I'm like, but you don't see it. He kills her off screen, I believe. I'm like, oh my god. And then, it just was so unsettling. I'm like, damn, talk about balls to do this. So yeah, I did not. That was one thing that really did not set with me. But then again, I think they just wanted to show this guy's like motives. This guy, how vicious this villain is. But hey, But still, this villain, I feel, is cliche. But that's just me. But everything else, falls kind of in place. The real plot is, so somehow, Chuck Norris and the Delta Force, they capture this guy, the Coda, that's the name of the drug pin, the / cartel guy, in possibly the craziest manner ever. They extradite him to the U.S. where he's put on trial. He's put away. So okay, enough said there. But somehow he gets bailed out, and of course he goes after Chuck Norris's best friend's family. So he loses his wife, he loses his son. I'm like, oh my god! And of course, then his own friend commits kind of career suicide by actually going to him himself. So in Latin America, gets caught and eventually killed. So in the most gruesome way ever, which I don't want to say. And of course, that's where things get off the rails. That's where things get really, really good. But overall, like all this just pretty much just paints the picture of holy shit. This feels like something Chuck Norris would do. But just between that moment I mentioned earlier and this cliche villain, I feel like that's kind of where Delta Force kind of doesn't live up to the majesty of the first Delta Force movie. And of course, it would get a little different come Delta Force 3, which I'll probably get to sometime into the new year. All right. So, but yeah, overall, I still think it's a really fun, entertaining movie. Let's see, like I said, the story's more, how we say, grounded, but then I feel like cartoonish and over the top, especially with the deaths. But it's still an entertaining popcorn flick nonetheless. And with Chuck Norris at the helm, it's good stuff. All right. So if I had to give Delta Force 2 a score, I'm going to give Delta Force 2 maybe at least a solid 6. That's as best I can do for it. I wanted to score it a little higher, make it just as good as the Delta Force, but between the stuff that I mentioned and some things that really did not set with me, I think it kind of knocked the score down. But that's just me, okay? No, like I said, sequels are not as good as their original source, their predecessor kind of thing. But hey, but this is Chuck Norris, so it kind of gets a bit of a pass. So I don't know. It's depends on your bread and butter. All right. So that does for today. Let me know what you think. Thumbs up this video, subscribe to my channel, and stay tuned for some more awesome, exciting videos.